So we're getting ready for our next matches. We want to hear from you on social media. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, ESL Injustice, and use that hashtag Hometown Heroes. And if we have a couple good tweets, we'll throw them up on the broadcast. Let's kick it over to the desk with Dustin and Evan to give us an update on two of the regions and to continue the battle for New York. Gentlemen.
All right, so again, we do have all of the regions except for New York locked in. And so let's take a look at two more to see who your regional finalists are, starting with Seattle, where Titanium Tigers, OD2 Easy, Sounds Like Pause, and I Am the Batman have all qualified. I still have not seen I Am the Batman play, which is obviously a shame, but all of those other players, very great to watch. We've seen them on the show before, so congratulations to them.
Yep, and moving to Dallas, it is going to be Handy Savage taking that first place spot with Chaotic, Ominous, Maddox, and DSV Black running at your top 4. Peanut just outside, as well as Showtime. Sorry, bros.
Sorry, guys.
But amazing play to the top 4 regional finalists.
There are a lot of really cool people in Texas.
There really
I don't know why that is in particular. Maybe it's a big state, so there's a good chance there's a lot of really cool people, but
that's true.
I wanted them all to make it. Still, Handy Savage, I'm impressed, specifically in Handy Savage, because he, at the very beginning of the season, was like, he was kind of not even within that top 4.
I was trying to tell you that he was a really good player. It's just his gameplay in the beginning didn't show. No, I agree with you. Yeah. He played very weak the first time we kind of saw it, but man, he's gotten back in the groove. I think he was trying to switch from like stick to pad or something like that, yeah, but he is back in it, and he is your #1 seed in Dallas.
Yeah, he's got the same lead that like Nubcakes and Dab do. Yeah. That's saying a lot. But let's move on to continue seeing who will be your 4th place finalist for New York, where we are going to move, I believe, into the Kings match.
The Battle of the Kings.
Who will be the true king?
Will it be the Raj or the Washed?
I wonder what that even means, KingWashed. Like, KingWashed up would be really good.
Washed up or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Who knows? So it doesn't appear that CD Manny and Kevin Oman can. We're working on their connection right now. We're trying to see how that ends up playing out. But like I said, in the meantime, we get to see the King match. And so neither of these players are within the running potentially for that 4th place spot. But they're going to move on. Of course, we do see that CD Manny is. He was one of the top 3, or the top 3 outside of the top 3, you could say.
He is one of the players that could potentially, if he wins, make it.
Right. So the first 2 matches that he could potentially play are all set out for him. This one will decide the 3rd, and if he wants to make it, that is going to be a tough path. He's going to have to win against Kevin Oman, the 1st place seed. He's going to have to win against Splash, a great Aquaman loyalist, then move on, the winner of this match, then move on, and then have to play
the loser
both in a row. The loser and then the winner of the winner's finals match, both of which he needs to beat.
Yeah, this is not, listen, this is not a road filled with gummy bears and gumdrops, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has got a real hellish road in front of him if he wants to qualify for the regional finals. So it is going to be hard, as you said.
It definitely is. He has a considerably tougher path than both Bidon and Predator, but KingRaj against KingWashed, the King match. Let's talk about that a little bit. So KingRaj, now obviously he plays a lot of characters.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go Firestorm.
Firestorm to start out probably, and then potentially Supergirl, which we saw, and it was a very solid Supergirl. I know he also used to play Aquaman, I believe, and there's some other characters in there as well. So really, aside from Firestorm and Supergirl, he has some surprises in store for us. But then moving on to KingWashed, who we just saw play.
Right, as far as I know, just plays Robin, but who knows, could play anybody. I guess we will see. And KingRaj is, like you said, a Firestorm player. So what do you think about the Firestorm versus Robin match?
Wait, before we get into it, we have an update. So, Manny did play Kevin Oman, and he beat him 3-2-1.
Ooh, 3-2-1. So that means that CD Manny is going to go on one more step.
I'm sorry, I had to give us an update.
No, absolutely.
But what were you asking me about this?
Well, I was asking you, what do you think about the Firestorm versus Robin matchup? Obviously, you've played Osmo.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like we talk about him all the time.
We do.
Even though I don't know where he's been for the past, like, 2 months.
I don't know either. But yeah, I've definitely played this matchup in extent with Osmo. And, you know, it's a really interesting matchup. Obviously, Firestorm does have tools to keep Robin out, but Robin also has some pretty decent tools to get in. The up-close pressure, I think some of the faster 8-frame mids definitely do help out Firestorm in this matchup, but the range that Robin has definitely trumps that, because Firestorm, as everyone knows, he's a very stubby character.
He is. His normals do not lack speed, but
no, they don't.
Range, a little bit.
So up close, I feel like Firestorm does just fine. Even at range, I feel like Firestorm does a decent job with the zoning tools that he's given. Especially the fact that he has an instant air torpedo that's 6 frames. It's very fast.
Wow. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil. No, but yeah, there's just
actually,
that
I think
sweet
it's 5
spot.
frames.
It is 5 frames.
Yeah,
once,
5 frames.
Once you're already
in the air.
Yeah. So you can't actually do it as an instant 5-frame normal. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Right.
But you know, we're talking about that little sweet spot that Robin's got, where he's most comfortable, but he hasn't been able to find that area. And KingRaj doing a really good job of trying to keep him out of that spot. He's been inside, he's been outside, and finally, we actually just saw...
Oh, and that was a reset.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. But we just saw that range, and a meter burn back 3 was the perfect answer from KingRaj.
And so overall, like in my matchup synopsis, I do think that Firestorm has a pretty decent advantage, but I don't think this matchup is unwinnable by any stretch of the imagination by Robin. Especially if the Robin player is on point, this can actually be tough for Firestorm as well.
Right, and of course Firestorm going completely unchanged in the patch. Robin with just a few little buffs, but nice! The second back 3 that we've seen. Interesting that he followed up with a jump. He could have just done another back 3, forward 3. He's obviously going for unclashable damage, but he doesn't really need that much of it.
Yeah, and he is going to burn out. Anything is really going to do it, including a torpedo if he so chooses. Oh no, he just goes up close.
Wow. He had a lot of opportunities. Every single normal could have been canceled into a special.
So that string, forward 1, 3-3 into 2, that is neutral on block. So it's a very good string for Firestorm to use in pressure. However, the 2 after the forward 1, 3-3 is actually backdashable. So you can backdash it, and I believe if you're quick enough, you can also armor through that. So that is something that we haven't really seen a lot of people exploit, simply because there just aren't that many Firestorm players.
Right. Yeah, we've seen Shijinki Dink, we've seen KingRaj multiple times.
There's some good ones out there, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, like, overall, like, I feel like the character itself is kind of being slept on a little bit.
I absolutely agree with that, actually. That is an opinion that's very varied amongst the community, but I feel like for how actually good Firestorm is, we see very, very little Firestorms. I mean, he may not be even on the top, you know, he might not be as high as the highest tiers, but I don't think by any means is he bad.
I agree. A lot of people do think he's a pet character, though. So
I have definitely heard that. But KingRaj showing that the opposite is true. Although I say that as he's already cornered, eating some pressure, takes the overhead, probably afraid of the sweep.
Yeah. Another thing that is really good, though, is that right there. He has a fantastic wake-up to deal with a lot of the battering pressure. Well, it's not a battering, excuse me.
Birdering. Smart birdering, my friend. Do not say the wrong name for the smart birderings. They work very hard. They got their PhD.
Transmute that.
He literally could transmute that. He could probably transmute his sword.
Okay, here we go. Activating the blue trait. He is going to get extra damage on this. And that Molten Trap has so much more plus frames when he is blue.
Right, that really guarantees a free mix-up. A lot of the time, even though people tend to respect it, when he's outside of trait, you can actually just backdash, get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Which obviously he can bait.
You can also jump it as well.
Right, right. It looks more plus than it is, but... Ooh, KingRaj using level 1 trait. I don't think I've ever seen a Firestorm go into level 1 trait.
I mean, it's okay, right? It gives him a little bit of a damage boost, and I believe a little bit of HP regen, but I mean, it's nothing towards the level of what his level 2 or even 3 trait will do.
Right, right. And wow, a lot of life back from KingRaj. But KingWashed really controlling the matchup this time. And I think all of it was just because of how good his start was. When you have a character like Robin, like maybe Flash, like a lot of the offensive melee characters, if they get a good start, they can run away with the game so fast. But if they get a slow start, the opponent can run away with it.
Oh, and this is going to do at least 300 damage. There it is, 335. Forward 1 stagger and jump. Wait, still alive. No, and that is going to do it.
And again, that was another situation just like the end of the last game, but the opposite, where just like a down back 2, like the sword uppercut or maybe the run, would have guaranteed a chip kill in that situation, but instead he went for the string.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's weird that they're going for the strings rather than those guaranteed chip kills, but whatever works, they do manage to make it work. And now it's 1-1 in the King battle.
Yeah. And I do love the white with black on Firestorm. This is actually my favorite color scheme for this character.
I'm sad that we're not
I'm a
seeing
KingRaj fan, obviously.
Yeah, fair. Well, I'll be a KingWashed fan, as even though I like the shader from earlier.
Cool Robin.
He has a very cool Robin, but I like the Batman colored shader. This is just essentially the normal shader. I think this one might be slightly different. It's slightly more colored, but it's a Robin shader.
Okay, now Wash doing a really good job patiently walking him to the corner.
Oh, and he had to respect that interactable. That thing's like a little ice clone that starts a combo. It's terrifying.
That is an awesome interactable for gadget characters. Yep, switching sides, very nice. Not the best punish, but still caught him out of the air off of the torpedo. And this is where Firestorm actually excels if you just keep him in the corner.
Which is definitely not going to be happening. That was a very, very good punish. And one thing that I have to say that we've seen from KingWashed a lot is that he's very good at controlling which side his combos end up. Yeah. He always manages to get the corner, even if he's not inside of it.
Yeah. You lost before we even started.
Man, yeah, if Raj can keep him in the corner, Firestorm has some of the best plus frame pressure in the game. I mean, his EX Blast is +4, and then he has multiple 8-frame mids as well as a 7-frame down 1, a 7-frame stand 1, although it's the high. There's just so many different frame traps that Firestorm can actually catch you in once he has you in the corner because of the way that his forward 2-1-3 string works.
Right, and the fact that you can not backdash at all out of it once you get in the corner.
You can.
But, you know, we're really not seeing too much of that sort of pressure gameplay from Raj. Raj is definitely more of a zoner and more of a mix-up player as soon as he manages to get in.
That's true. We actually really haven't seen him use EX Blast at all.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, though, his inside game is more of a get off me than a it's my turn type deal.
Which is fine. Firestorm can be played in multiple ways.
Yeah, no, he's one of those characters that he's kind of got everything. He's got the options to potentially play a bunch of different ways, like you just said. That should be enough. Meter burn back threes have been working out so well for Raj the entire day.
He's been placing those very well. What are these globes just being randomly created?
Those globes are, in story mode, what Brainiac keeps these cities and worlds that he's collected in. So he shrinks them down into those little globes.
Right, but it just made one arbitrarily.
Oh, I guess, I don't know. Maybe they collected another city while they're playing. Yeah. They need to hurry up and stop fighting here so that they can stop Brainiac.
We're wasting their time. Yeah, because I knew they were the ones that stored the globes, but yeah, I just noticed that it created one, so is he collecting while we're fighting?
He must be. I don't know. He's probably sitting here like, who are these people? Why are they in my ship?
Going for unclashable damage. This is now getting very close. 211 left for KingRaj. 368 for KingWashed. No clash available, and that is gonna do it.
Wow, KingWashed taking 2 in a row after KingRaj had a very solid win in that first game. Just the adaptation has been really good. And I want to know if we're going to see a switch. Raj, of course, has multiple characters that he could choose from. But the question is, which one? Trying to decide. Now, we saw Supergirl earlier tonight. We've seen some other characters from him. Oh, he's going to stick with it.
Stick it out with Firestorm.
All right, so I think it's a solid choice. He just needs to play a lot more like he played in the first game. As long as he can keep doing that, it'll be golden. And even this last one, it wasn't too far off, but I would like him to see him use maybe a little bit more pressure, use his meter for you know, offense. Or even if you're not going to use the meter for offense, use it more for like push blocks and meter burn rolls to get out of there. You know, like maybe just commit more to one style.
Actually, not going for the optimal with the background bounce available to him. That's another thing I've noticed is Raj has left a little bit of damage on the table for himself against Robin.
But right now he's got a good lead, even though he's yeah.
That is also a really great tool, by the way. Down 1 or canceling any string or poke into Blast is -6 on block, so it is completely safe.
Right, it's a check for any time that your opponent wants to swing after a string.
Yeah, and it happens to be +18 on hit, which is the same amount of plus that Molten Trap is. So if you check someone with a blast and they are decently close, you are going to be able to get some pressure in there as well.
And we're seeing him do that and then just backing up. It's a very smart move. Firestorm does have a pretty good backdash.
Yeah, and this is a completely different game coming out of KingRaj here.
Oh, does not punish the roll, just gets clipped afterwards. Good blocks, but again, Uniburn back 3 has been KingRaj's best friend this set. What's the mix-up? Oh, he went for the delayed low.
Good block, though, coming out of KingWashed now. Jumps himself in the corner, and then so does KingRaj.
This is for gadget characters, which these are both gadget characters. This is a great level to get out of that left side corner because you have the dive kick interactable.
Oh, you are not getting away from that.
This is not how you impress me.
Just slides it. That thing must have like some crazy wheels on it, or it must be just like covered in like, I don't know, like olive oil or something. I don't understand how you can slide that so
Last
fast.
chance to fall in line. The professor says no.
Wow, it's still 4 bars for Raj. Yeah, he's going to spend 2 to make sure he doesn't get anything left. And anything he does will kill at this point.
Okay. Again, charge would be such an easy answer in all of these scenarios.
But he's like, nope, I don't want it that way.
Yeah,
I don't want it that way.
No, too easy. He's like, I gotta earn this win. So he goes for medium back 3, which could have been, you know, jumped and whiff punished, but you know, whatever works, whatever works. And so that means that it's gonna even it up in the King battle to 2-2. Who will be the ruler of the land, or the ruler of losers bracket?
Will reign supreme?
Who? Raj or Washed? And
I thought he hovered over Brainiac for a second, and I got super stoked. I'm turning into you. I'm turning into a huge Brainiac fan. I know.
Don't ever turn into me. That is a no-go, my friend.
It's a huge mistake, I know.
Oh, and we are seeing not quite Power Girl. Looks like Power Girl, but Supergirl. So we have seen 3 switches tonight to Supergirl.
Correct.
Obviously, Supergirl is one of those characters that we are seeing a lot more of post-patch. Everybody's trying their hand at her. She is so solid. Like, truly as a character, she has very few true weaknesses. She can handle everything. She's got footsies, she's got pokes, and
she has a teleport, which, I mean, isn't even necessary, but she has it.
Right, and in fact, her best anti-zoning tool might be her zoning
here we go.
itself.
We're actually starting to see a little bit of that plus pressure coming out of Blast. EX Blast.
Again, not using the background bounce, going for the just normal B&B. But he's got quite the lead. Oh, wow, that was an absolutely max range down one.
Nice. I love the stagger from the back 1 to the grab.
Yeah, back 1 mix-ups are not really something that we've seen a lot from Raj.
No.
Again, he could have just charged for that.
And I know why, though, because both options are actually unsafe. Both the options are very punishable. So back 1 staggers and to grab something like that, that's a very intelligent option, and I really like seeing that out of KingRaj.
It's true, and of course, for those who don't know, the mix-up is back 1 in 2 is an overhead. It's a mid-overhead, and then back 1 into the ground blast is obviously a mid-low that starts a combo, so it's a little bit of a...
Back 1-2 is -10, I believe, and back 1 into the low is -12 or something or the other. They're both very punishable.
Oh, going for unclashable already. I'm surprised. I feel like just at that point, maybe just let him clash. But getting a lot of solid damage, landing a torpedo in neutral.
Hey, sometimes you just got to do it.
It's true, and actually Firestorm, one of the best in the game at doing unclashable damage, which is what we're about to see as KingRaj, with a very convincing Game 5, defeats KingWashed to move on in the losers bracket.
Very good Firestorm. Great to see a Firestorm player out there. As we said, there's not that many. We do have Dink, we have Raj, we have a few others, but he's a character that is honestly just underrepresented right now.
He definitely is, which is, again, I think it's very, very weird. I mean, when you have people there's tons of people playing like Robin and there are a lot of players out there, right, that we see playing characters that are maybe not considered the best, but then you have a character like Firestorm that isn't even really considered bad. He's not considered not good, and yet you very rarely see them. Maybe it's just some sort of very unique play style that you have to be ready for.
That's true.